Hey, happy season. You know, as good a year as 2025 was for game releases and soundtracks with accordions, it definitely wasn't very affordable. The standard MSRP for full-price games was raised to $80 this year, right after being raised to $70 not 2 years ago. Xbox announced and released their $1,000 handheld that doesn't actually play Xbox games. Game Pass prices were raised by $10. Welcome Tour was $10 when it definitely should have been a pack-in title. Titanfall 3 was cancelled. I'm just sad about that one. But as prices kind of just keep going up, what continues to be a bastion of great, affordable games is indie games. Most of the best games that came out this year were indies, 3 of which have been getting most of the Game of the Year nominations, and they cost $50, $30, and $20 respectively. These aren't just cheap games, they have new ideas, they have their own perspective on video games. These are some of the best games available right now, and man did I play some good games this year. Blueprints offers the aesthetics of those old, obtuse first-person puzzle games like Myst, while actually being beatable by a human person. I say this as someone who has not beat it. I also want to call out how perfectly married the soundtrack of Blueprints is to the gameplay. It's exactly the type of music you need for a game that takes you so deep inside your own brain. Birdcage acted as one of the most accessible shoot-'em-ups I've run into. This genre has a tendency to just not be reasonable, and while Birdcage has the capacity to be unreasonable, it's only when you ask it to be. The build of difficulty is gradual, and while it does get to levels like it doesn't kick you to the start of the game when you game over. Again, unless you ask it to. Straft wholly commits itself to just being a really fun arena shooter.
God damn it.
Wake up! Wake up!
That was methodical.
Sonic Racing Crossworld maybe had the best intro theme of anything I played this year. With Mario Kart World in close second. Rift of the Necrodancer was a refreshing iteration on 4-key rhythm games. Peak and Repo were both very fun.
It doesn't work. It's not working. My tray isn't working, Ben. Alright, small blizzard. I'm back.
He's back.
And the 100-line Last Defense Academy is the exact type of game the title implies. It's the type of game that takes 30 hours to roll credits on, and then you realize that was actually just the start of the game. Those were the opening credits. GTFO provides a really novel tension to a genre I usually associate with having none. It's maybe the only shooter I've played that encourages you to only use your gun as a last resort. Guns make noise and use up ammo fast, leading you to have to do coordinated sneak attacks. If all goes according to plan, you may be only doing 1 or 2 gunfights in a whole level. But rest assured, nothing will go to plan.
Sure. You want me to open it?
Before you do... Okay.
Sonic Generations is the most polished Sonic has been since Sonic Generations. What this game made me realize is that 3D Sonics are actually just Super Monkey Ball. The fun parts are how you don't play the game. Cut corners, skip an entire half of the level. The Sonic people have been insisting that there's something there. Sonic Unleashed, Generations, Colors, there's something to this formula. The genius of having Shadow Gens be a part of a Sonic Gens remaster is once I finished Shadow, I finally got it. Phasmophobia has a very unique gameplay loop with some unfortunately obtuse game mechanics. I don't exactly know how this could be helped besides just helping the player a little more in the first couple cases. There's a lot of, oh, that's how you use it. Oh, that's how that functions. Oh, that's the tell for it being actual evidence. It results in a lot of frustrating misguessing, but I think the novelty of the gameplay never really had me too angry.
No, I'm dead.
It's still weirdly satisfying to find evidence. It's still very funny to hear your friends dying in the other room. and it's still unsettling when you ask the ghost a question and it responds appropriately.
It's got some, like, emerald eyes, dude. What do you have? You have blue eyes, right?
I got into Rocket League early enough that I got the privilege of watching the community absolutely tear the mechanics apart in real time. Even with the complete lack of new original content for the game, the consistent feeling of getting better in the pace of innovation was enough that I just kept playing. And I think being here for the launch of Rematch has put it into even clearer perspective. As much as I love Rocket League, the mechanical depth is deep enough that finding out what you have to improve on is a task in itself. Rematch manages to strike a very difficult intersection of hard to master, but not in a way that's too grindy. The skill ceiling of Rematch is mostly held up by team play and positioning, with the small exception of goalkeeping.
I think I dove the wrong way. Guys. I think I pressed the wrong direction. Maybe don't look.
I want to see this.
Maybe
I'm like 70% convinced now that when people are talking about how good classic Sonic is, they're talking about Sonic 3.
Okay.
In the most confident game design choice of the year, Donkey Kong Bonanza says, here's the exit, do whatever you want. Destructible environments is a selling point I feel has lost its weight from a few too many games using it in non-central ways. Donkey Kong Bonanza reminded me how open a concept it really is. So many shooters have tried this mechanic, but you're using explosions and guns. To actually be tearing the environment apart with your fists changes it from being a gimmick to being the central pole. It's a very fundamental fun that this game captures, breaking stuff to get to shiny things. In an era where the focus of FPS games was on more guns and bigger set pieces, Bioshock stood out. Its underwater world, the steampunk aesthetics, but I think what speaks more to this game than Bioshock's uniqueness in 2007 is Bioshock's uniqueness now. Rapture feels like a world already existing that I'm just walking through. It is both fantastical and grounded in reality in a way I think only a couple other game worlds have managed since. But more impressive than anything is how much the gameplay holds up. The abilities completely change the pace of normal FPS combat, making it a bit less about mindless run and gun and more so thinking about what gun or ability is best for what situation. Running out of ammo means adapting to whatever you have left in your arsenal. Speaking of Doom, the written elevator pitch for Doom is 3 incorrectly spelled words with no punctuation. In a game as bombastic and fast as Doom, pacing becomes make or break. You need that downtime to reorient and lower your heart rate between fights. The fact that every enemy has a mechanical answer makes the weapon swapping a lot more meaningful and fun than just, I'm out of ammo, do I switch to the gun that shoots fast? Or the gun that shoots really fast. There is always a reason to use a different weapon scenario to scenario. Combine that with the music and the demanding but balanced difficulty in the music and you have yourself a great interactive album. It's a game made for people who like Doom. Because Doom fans were Doom fans before Doom came out. That's how eternal it is. I don't think I've ever loved and hated a game with the same level of passion as I have for Silksong. Maybe since I played Dark Souls, I could talk hyperbolically about the qualms I have with this game till the cows come home. Everything hitting you for 2 masks when you only have 5 health, the fact that I'm constantly stressed just exploring the world, the lack of downtime aside from after I've died. Even then, I'm just sad. You get basically 1 bench per area. Okay, I'll stop. Silksong asks a lot from you, but it pays off with its world design, bosses, and a beautiful soundtrack. Typically when someone says a game is well written, it's said in the context of it being a video game. It reflects the gameplay, it gives the game world depth, it gives the game character. When I say Disco Elysium is well written, I'm saying it in the context of it being something that is written. There is no catch when I say this is an absurdly well-crafted story, because it's written like a book. I guess that's the catch. If I was in a reductive mood, as I often am, I would say this year was headed by a lot of impressive writing. A lot of good words this year, and a lot of good voices saying those words. Games are multifaceted things, so the scripts and voice work are almost always afterthoughts. It feels good when they aren't. Dispatch is a great example of prioritizing narrative without botching the gameplay in the process. Aaron Paul has such an incredible delivery here, and it's punched up by some memorable characters and really catchy joke writing. It's refreshing to see a game like Ninja Gaiden stay so focused on just being a really good side-scrolling action game. You could so easily turn this into a bigger, messier project, but the narrowed scope of Ragebound lets what is here stand out even more. Everything you see here is so purposeful and authored. The mechanics have been tuned to their absolute limit of crunch and satisfaction. Every enemy tweaked hundreds of times, every level molded carefully. It's this type of obsessive perfectionism that breeds 10 out of 10 games. I think the best parts of a roguelike are after you beat it. You've mastered the mechanics, you understand the path, and you can just make weird builds and go for achievements and bonus content. Hades 2 does a lot of work to bring some of that endgame experience into the true ending. It takes a lot of winning to beat Hades 2, but it takes just as much losing. If you played Hades 1, you know progression isn't just tied to getting better at the game. You're rewarded for sticking with it, even if all you're doing is losing. And Hades 2 takes that and jacks it up to 11. In fact, basically everything Hades does. Hades 2 says, yeah, but I can do it more. And better. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has so many opportunities to fumble that I kept waiting for it to stop working for me, for a drop in pacing to bore me, for an area or enemy fight to feel uninspired, for truly anything to drop the ball in some way and give me an out to not finish this 30-hour game. I kept waiting for the game to give me a reason to drop it, and all I would get is more reasons to be paying even closer attention. I feel the more ambitious a game, the more forgiving I usually am to its faults. A mailed-in story or performance stings less sitting next to innovative and fun gameplay. The triumph of Expedition 33 is swinging big in every pillar of the game and hitting 99% of the time. When I write about a game, I think about what stands out to me. Is the soundtrack doing anything new? Is the gameplay innovative? Is the narrative interesting? Is the world something I've never seen before? This game breaks my brain because it all stands out. There is no soundtrack that has sounded like this. There is no turn-based RPG that has taken interactive elements this far. And most impressively, there is no other world that would have been more natural to tell a story of art and grief through. It feels a little odd to have just talked about how Clair Obscur tells a story I've never been told, and now I'm gonna talk about a story I have been told multiple times. But even going in knowing every story beat, The Last of Us surprised me. We've all developed a loot gluttony from games that just give you way more stuff than you could possibly know what to do with. The Last of Us is like going on a loot diet. I'll look through 3 houses and find 8 screws, a couple rags, and half a pair of scissors and think, man, what a haul. On higher difficulties, almost any time the game even lets you check in a drawer, it'll be empty. It is a brutally scarce world that shows through in its gameplay, while somehow making that a core part of why the game is so fun. It makes finding bigger loot stashes an insanely satisfying experience, and more importantly, it makes the fighting sequences incredible. Stealth games don't excite me all that much, and cover shooters maybe even less so I hope it comes across how impressive it is that this game got me really engaged with both. And I think it's because of one very basic thing. When you get caught in stealth, you don't game over. You are now in a gunfight, and all you have to work with is whatever scraps you just found in the rundown Chuck E. Cheese you just went through to get here, and whatever bricks and bottles you find on the ground. It makes for a very genuine tension when it's capitalized by everyone in the immediate area running in your direction when somebody spots you. What's even better is you can go back into hiding after being spotted, except now, everyone will be searching for you. It is dynamic in a way I didn't know stealth games could be, and it's tense in a way I've always wanted stealth games to be. And not just in the stealth sections. There is a constant tension in nearly every corner of this game. Even when you're out of combat and just looting, tension only breaks when the characters let it. It makes you really want the characters to like each other so you don't have to sit in an angry silence. This world isn't just scarce, it's out to get you. There's so little hope to be had that in the moments of true peace and the tension finally lets up, it's like a weight has been lifted.